Hello everyone and welcome to 9-Inch Charge, a Warhammer Age of Sigmar and Warhammer the Old World discussion channel. Well, the rules for Age of Sigmar 3 are coming thick and fast now. The latest tease have been the changes to Warscroll Battalions, a very welcome change in my mind. So let's break them down, see what they bring, and then have a bit of a chat about how this will impact the game. As ever, just before we kick off, if you enjoyed this video, please drop it a like, and if you'd like to see more like this in the future, please subscribe to the channel. There are now two types of battalions in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. The Warscroll Battalions you know and love are for units of renown and represent a specific focus, a special leader, or additional training. It has been rumoured that these are now only going to be used for narrative play, whilst on the other hand, core battalions are intended to balance out the various units in exchange for distinct abilities, and these are the ones it's been rumoured are going to be used for matched play. There are 6 new core battalions that have been shown on the Warhammer community website, and we're going to go through each of them in turn and discuss what benefits they'll bring and when you might consider taking them. As yet, there have been no points cost teased for these, so we don't know how you'll be able to include them. It only says that you can include any of the following core battalions in your army if the battle pack you are using says that you can use core battalions. There are new icons that explain the mandatory or optional units you can take in your core battalion. The black ones are mandatory, and if they're greyed out they are optional and you can add them to the battalion if you wish. The first one is the commander, the leader. He doesn't have any wound or mount restrictions. The second is the sub-commander, a leader with a wounds characteristic of less than 10. Troops is a unit that is not a leader, artillery or a behemoth. The distinction here is that it doesn't have to be a battle line. Artillery pieces, and finally monsters. That is a behemoth that is not a leader. So you can't include a Tree Lord Ancient as a monster. They would have to come under the choice of commander. The same also goes for something like a Dreadlord on Black Dragon. The first core battalion is the Warlord Battalion. The minimum requirement is 1 leader, 2 sub-commanders and 1 troop. This can be expanded to 2 leaders, 4 sub-commanders and 2 troops, and grants the benefits. Strategists. Once per battle, when you receive command points at the start of the hero phase, you can receive 1 extra command point. This was common to all Warscroll battalions, but looks like it's a specific benefit to only some battalions now, with the change in how command points are structured. The second benefit this battalion grants your army is Magnificent. When you pick enhancements for your army, you can pick 1 extra enhancement. We don't currently know what these extra enhancements will be, but I'm guessing it will be something like the ability to be able to take an extra item for your army. But only time will tell. Not long to wait now until we know. The next core battalion is the Battle Regiment. This includes 1 leader and 2 troop choices, and it can be expanded to include additional 2 sub-commanders, 3 troops, and a monster or artillery piece. I think this is going to be a pretty common one. It's very flexible and allows you to take, anything that you would want. The core, everybody is going to have to take at least 2 troops anyway and a leader in 1,000 points plus. So I think we'll see this one quite a lot. And the benefit that it grants is Unified. 1-drop deployment. Again, 1-drop deployment was something that was common to all Warscroll battalions, but now seems to be a specific ability given to only some. And the article did confirm that first turn priority is still determined by the player who finishes deploying first. So this is a great benefit if you want to have control of who takes the first turn in your games. Next up is the Grand Battery. Get ready all you Ironworld Arsenal players out there. This includes 1 sub-commander and 2 artillery pieces, and can be expanded to include 3 artillery pieces, and grants the ability Slayers. Once per battle, 1 unit from this battalion can receive the all-out attack or unleash hell command without the command being issued and without a command point being spent. Just as a reminder, the all-out attack command ability states you can use this command ability when you pick a friendly unit to shoot in your shooting phase or fight in a combat phase. That unit must receive the command. Add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by that unit until the end of the phase. And the Unleash Hell command ability reads, you can use this command ability after an enemy unit finishes a charge move. The unit that receives the command must be within 9 inches of that enemy and more than 3 inches from other enemy units. The unit that receives the command can shoot in that phase, but when it does so, you must subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks, and it can only target the unit that made the charge move. Only 1 unit in the battalion can benefit from this free command ability. However, the wording of it, where it says it's not issued and a command point isn't spent, makes me wonder if you will be able to use it on another unit in this battalion from your sub-commander. But we'll have to wait until we have the book in our hands for that one. But definitely a nice little perk if you're going to be taking lots of artillery pieces. Next is the Vanguard. 1 sub-commander and 1 to 3 troops. This grants the ability Swift. Once per battle, 1 unit from this battalion can receive the at the double or forward to victory command without the command being issued or without a command point being spent. Again, as a reminder, at the double, just as a reminder, at the double lets you turn a run roll into a 6, great for getting onto objectives, and forward to victory allows you to re-roll a charge roll, especially useful for all those 3-inch charges we keep failing. I really like this one so far. For me, the movement phase is the trickiest phase, so a free little bonus like that will really come in handy. Next up, we have the Line Breaker. 1 leader and 2 to 3 monsters. Bear in mind that leader can be a monster or riding a monster, so this is the Monster Mash Battalion. Once per battle, 1 unit from this battalion can receive the All-Out Defense or All-Out Attack command without the command being issued and without a command point being spent. All-Out Defense is a +1 save for units in the shooting or combat phase, and as we've previously gone over, All-Out Attack is +1 to hit rolls for attacks made by that unit until the end of the shooting or combat phase. And our last core battalion is Command Entourage. 1 leader and 2 to 3 sub-commanders, and grants either Strategist, which was the once per battle when you receive command points at the start of your hero phase, you receive 1 extra command point, or Magnificent. When you pick enhancements for your army, you can pick 1 extra enhancement. This is nice and flexible. I wonder when you'll have to declare which one you'll take. If you can take this battalion and you don't have to declare until you start the game, that would be great. And as we said before, we'll have to wait and see what magnificent enhancements there will be for our armies. And there we have it. So, what do we think of these? How do you think they're going to change match play? Personally, I think they're going to bring a lot of balance to match play. Current Warscroll Battalions, whilst fun and delivering a lot of flavour, are really all over the place in terms of what they can do for the points that they cost. In my last game, I took the Viridian Pathfinders Battalion, which gives me +1 to charge rolls for 3 units on the turn that they appear if they've been deployed off the battlefield, against the Tyrants of Blood Battalion, which costs the same, which allows 3 to 8 Bloodthirsters to attack simultaneously before being struck back against. And although the game was really fun, I did feel that for the same number of points, I wasn't getting the same benefit as my opponent was from his battalion. Also, I think there are some factions where people aren't encouraged to take the battalions, either because it's not their choice of models, or they just don't find a use for them. With these, I think there's something to suit all playstyles. And the flexibility, for example, where it just says troop or monster, means that you're not bound to taking specifically the units that are in the battalion, and this really gives you a lot of flexibility in the way that you want to play and to be able to take your army the way that you want to. So more power to theming, and hopefully we'll see some more kind of niche armies, and not just, you go to tournaments and you see the same battalion across 4 or 5 different tables or more for one faction, and then you go to the next faction and they're running the same. I mean, how many times have we seen the Eels battalion being run for the Lumineth? So my great hope is that this shakes things up, lets people do what they want to do, and just lets us see more diversity and cool stuff on the tabletop, and I think it will. Thank you very much everyone for watching. Please drop a comment to let me know what you think of these new battalions and what you think of AoS3 and how it's shaping up in general. If you are interested in all the new rules that are coming out, I have done 2 other videos on the new rules, and I'll keep doing them, the more we know. So check out the channel, please, and hopefully you'll find something there useful and that you enjoy. And speaking of which, if you did enjoy that and you found it useful, please drop a like and please subscribe. Again, thank you very much for watching. I hope all your charge rolls are at least a 9, and I'll catch you next time.